On January 12, 2003, 42-year-old Curtis Thorngren was found shot to death in the bathroom of his Meridian, Idaho home. When police arrived, they spoke with his wife Donna, believing they could be dealing with a home invasion turned murder. Soon after, investigators discovered that there had been deep issues in the Thorngren's marriage. Recently, they had been fighting over whether their son Austin would be kicked out when he turned 18, just 2 days after the murder. Police also learned that Donna had a life insurance policy on Curtis. Now thinking they could be dealing with a family murder plot, police bring Donna Thorngren in for questioning.
How you been?
Okay.
I didn't get my notebook. This has been a heck of a week, hasn't it?
It has. We're exhausted.
All right, hang on. It's been a long week, probably for you too, huh?
Yes.
How's things been going?
Okay, it's off and on.
Back and forth, back and forth.
It's hard. We want to get going on back and try to get back to normal somewhat. I mean,
if we can have, normal is something we're going to shoot for again. So everything's going okay though? You doing all right?
Yeah.
Sorry I didn't make it to the funeral.
I get good drugs.
You get good drugs? Nothing wrong with good drugs.
Yeah.
Sorry I didn't make it to the funeral, but it was just...
It was awesome.
It was a big funeral. I've heard several people say awesome as a definition for it.
Yeah, I mean, they estimated between 1,000 to 1,500.
You're kidding me.
No, it wasn't little. The whole
Yeah,
church.
there was standing room only.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, I was impressed. There was lots of people there.
I mean, it was amazing because, I mean, all my friends and all his friends, and we grew up at Central, so we know everybody there. And so there's a lot of people that don't even go there. I tried to sit down because when I talked to you, I was totally off.
Yeah, and I was a bit taken aback by the whole thing too, because it was, it was quite a scene. There wasn't a lot of commotion going on, and I'm trying to take notes, and I walk out in the rain, sitting them, and I'm like, I was using that felt pen, and I'm going, what did she say?
I was totally wrong. So I tried to, I gave you the receipt for lunch. Do you still have that?
Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you still?
I do. I have that.
Okay, because I couldn't remember what time it was.
10:46.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Well,
10:15. Well, she got like 10:15. And
was she with you on that one?
No,
Oh.
she was waiting at home, but she
see.
thought she left the house at 10:30, and she didn't leave till I came back. Because I walked in the house and talked to her and forgot Kurt's food in the car. So I had to go back out to the car and get it. So that we're off on a little bit.
Well, it's nice that we were able to have you come in and talk again, and just ground rules. What we're trying to do is we're about 9 days behind the interview that we're going to be comprehensive that we did the first night with the other folks, the other family members, and so you're certainly not under arrest. Okay. You're free to leave at any time. Okay. The doors are closed for our privacy because there's still some other stuff going on. Okay. This is
kind of what I was writing down.
Okay.
11 in the morning, my sister. And I told her to call me back. I didn't want to get up.
It's kind of early.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
She wanted to know if I was going to church. And I was lazy, so I didn't. Because we had planned for 2 weeks to go to this movie.
Which one was in the...
Made in Manhattan, like a girls' movie.
Okay, chick flick?
Yeah. And, but then it just got totally messed up. But then I got up, and I was thinking Kurt left like at 7:30. But I don't know, because he went to a deaf Sunday school class. So you could check what time.
Would it help if we looked at this together and talked to her?
If you could find out what time. But when I got up, the dogs sleep in the living room.
Okay.
And I'm sure you guys found blankets in the closet. The dogs sleep on the blankets.
Right.
And so I got the dogs out, vacuumed the floor because I have to vacuum every day because dogs are in the house.
Oh, that's when the vacuum was out.
Yeah,
through the hall.
yeah. I hadn't done the hall yet because there was no sense in doing it because I was painting. And I needed to do that thingy up there in the hall. You know, like where it's like a vent.
Kind of like that vent.
Yeah, but it's huge.
Okay. Cold air return or something like that.
I don't know. It's just dirty. So,
Mine is too. I vacuum all so you get the attachment up there and hit it.
I don't know. I just use the broom.
Mm-hmm.
There's my receipt. Until I left, I did
That's a receipt for.
Oh,
gas.
Texaco. Okay. Yeah, I think we had some guys go there and just round that up or something.
Yeah, that's
901.
yeah. So that's my gas receipt. And
Okay.
so between 7:30 and when I got up, I did like the housework and I started painting. Somebody had mentioned that they saw me outside with clothes with red on. If you look in the house, I don't know who was that, a neighbor. If you look in the house, there should be.
Somebody called and told you that? Okay.
You'll find a shirt. It's probably the bathroom or the kitchen. It's a big,
Are these receipts for us?
yes, yeah, you can give me. My dad worked for Boise City, and so it's a white shirt with brown stripes. And it's
Okay.
got paint all over it. It's my paint shirt.
Okay.
Wall, one black wall, one
Yes.
red. Why there's red paint all over.
Okay.
And then from there, I stopped at the handy bank
Right. I think
and
you
got
talked about that.
cash.
Right. $200.
Yeah.
Movies aren't cheap, and we
Well,
talked
I was
about that.
taking, and my friend and me, and I would have paid for my mom, so.
Sure.
And we were gonna have popcorn. So,
Which is $20 a tub.
yeah, and I mean, it
It's
costs
not
us.
cheap to go to the movies
It
anymore.
does cost us like $80, and we don't go that often, so that's why we
Yeah.
planned on going.
Okay. So that
Then-
was that puts you there
At 9:07,
907. So driving time from
I went to
Texaco.
Texaco and then digging out my junk. And then I went to Albertsons, and
That's awesome. You got this stuff.
I'm lucky. I wasn't going to use my debit card. I was going to take the cash in, but I didn't carry my purse. It was in the car, and so I had my debit card in my pocket from getting gas in the handy bank. And so that was, I checked out at 9:25.
Very good. Okay.
We're Coke addicts. We're around Diet Coke.
Coke addicts? You mean-
Diet Coke addicts.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we got 9 a.m.
And then I went home and I started painting because Grandma was meeting her at church, and church starts at 10, and Grandma didn't get there till shortly after 10. And so she wanted to know if I knew where Grandma was. At 10, and I was painting. And if you look, I paint like a little at a time.
Okay.
The bathroom.
Would this have been on her?
Her cell phone.
Okay.
It's probably on the color ID at home too.
Okay.
And then had 15 to taco time, but I think she's about a half hour behind. I think I painted, from when I got home and finished cleaning up the house. And then went to taco time, but I do know I was at taco time I thought 10:30 because taco time doesn't open, or they weren't open. Nobody came to the thingy, and they just might have been slow, and I got ticked and went to Taco Bell.
Right.
And so I went to Taco Bell and got Kurt's food. And I came home, but that would have been probably 10:50 instead of 10:30.
Okay. I noticed that.
Sorry, she lost me a little bit.
I know. I was
No.
thinking some of that. Okay. So let's go.
Okay, sorry.
So
I came home and painted.
10 to 10:15.
It wasn't that early.
So do you want to change this?
Yeah, probably because I went directly to Taco Time from our house.
Did you create this with?
Those times because she said she thought she left the house at 10:30, and she must have not left until 10:40.
Okay. So if I was to put a line through here, what time would we be comfortable with? And the Taco Bell receipt says 10:46.
Yeah, so I would say 10:30 because I went through Taco Time and then went to Taco Bell.
Okay. And I think we talked about that. You said,
Yeah, because I gave you that receipt.
yeah, but remember you said something about they wouldn't serve you at the drive-thru or something?
Yeah, the Taco Time people didn't come through the drive-thru, so I assumed they were closed. So it irritated me, so I went to Taco Bell.
And then I think you mentioned something about the route you took or something. I remember thinking you said something about taking the back roads or something like that.
If you guys ever watch me drive, I don't drive the main. I go the back roads, and I don't know why. And
What would you consider back roads?
like going down Second instead of First, the main road.
Mm-hmm.
Going the odd streets.
Okay.
Just because, especially, and this is going to sound really strange, but that truck is like my baby, and it's an argument between Austin and mine that it's mine and it's his. It was my dad's fishing truck, and when Dad died, Austin kind of got it, but I want it.
Okay.
And I mean, it's got like 170,000 miles, but when the transmission gun goes out, we always plan on putting it in because it was my dad's. And
So it's got some sentimental value.
yeah.
So is the back roads then from
Taco Time, I probably went down, or Taco Bell, I probably went down.
Okay, so you leave the house. So this is leaving Longford?
Yeah, probably 10:30. Does it take about 15 minutes to get to Taco Bell? Taco Time?
Depends on what
and
day
going
or
to
time.
Taco Bell. I mean, probably about 10:30 because I went to Taco Time first and then went over to Taco Bell and that was like 10:47.
Okay.
And when I got home, I put the food in the microwave. Didn't turn it on, but just set it there.
Okay.
And then I went in and I opened Kurt's pop. I don't know if he told you, Kurt does nothing. Kurt doesn't put gas in his car. It's just something
We've learned a lot about your family.
we're kind of strange, aren't we?
No.
I have always babied Kurt. I mean, that's all I wanted to do is get married and have kids, and so I wait on Kurt hand and foot. And it's not a bad thing. I enjoy it.
Okay,
He
so
didn't make me, but I just did.
Taco Bell's 10:46.
47. Yeah, something.
It was 10:46. Is that right? 10:46.
That's what the receipt had on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, if we get to the point where we're putting words in your mouth, go away.
No,
I'm not
no,
comfortable
that's
with that.
because I couldn't remember. I didn't think I need to look at the time, so I don't know. But luckily, I have those because I told him I went to get gas at 7:30 or something. But to me, it seemed early.
Okay.
But then I put the food in the microwave, so that would have been 10.
So you think, okay, now driving time from Taco Bell to home, any stops between?
No, just straight home.
So what do you think this time should be?
Probably 10. How long does it take you from Taco Time?
Do you recall? Yeah.
It just depends on the traffic, I suppose.
Well, it
There
depends
wasn't.
on what kind of lines at Taco Bell, but in Taco Bell, before it takes you 15, 30 minutes to get your food.
That was when I paid for it.
The times when you pay for it?
I would think because that's when they handed me the food.
I don't know. I haven't been there for a while. But
So
Do they have the two windows working, or do they just have one window at Taco
do you
Bell?
pay at one and go to the next, or is it not like McDonald's?
No, they have a second window, but you just go to the first one.
That's right.
So,
Okay.
and then I put it in the microwave. I
So
went
what time,
back
I'm sorry, real quick. Arriving home roughly,
52 maybe? I don't know. I wouldn't think it would take. I don't know.
okay. 10:50, 10:55, something like that.
Somewhere.
Okay. Just for argument's sake, I mean,
In case there wasn't a lot of.
just driving time.
Yeah.
Okay. So you come home, you put the food in the microwave.
Mhm.
Does that say painted?
Painted.
Oh,
I kept going back and forth and painting.
did you turn the microwave on or just stick
No,
it
I
in?
just stuck the food in there.
Okay.
And then went back to painting.
Okay.
And
In the bathroom.
And I was doing all the painting that's done in there. I was using a brush. I hadn't used a roller yet because I was going to go back and do it with a roller afterwards.
Okay.
And to make sure it got a good coat.
Open the pop.
Yeah,
And I think you told me what kind of pop that was. What was
it was a
it?
diet vanilla Coke. And then during the morning, if you check the phone records, at least 3 times because she called like at 8 to see if I was going to go to church, and I told her no.
Would those be cell calls or home calls? Because there's a lot of numbers we're trying to figure out what's going on. And
Anna's phone. I think
you'll
it's
think of
on
it. Okay.
my cell phone, what that is.
Okay.
And then I talked to her. She called at 9 to see if right before I left the
Would
gate.
these all be cell calls from her, though, or those be? Because we got this.
That one's a cell call because she was in the church parking lot.
Correct. Not sure if that was a cell or a home.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not sure. And she called, I would assume at 8 and 9, it was probably from her home phone. She called at 9 to see if I had us, or right before 9, because I was just getting ready to go get gas. And she actually stopped by the house. You'd have to ask her what time,
Okay.
but I think it was like at, 9:15, because I wasn't there, and she stopped to get, because she, yeah.
About 10:50?
No, then, let's see, during the day too, you'll see that I kept calling, I don't know if it show, I kept movie with us, and she kept not answering her cell phone. Because I said,
Is she the one that lives?
she lives at the Quads.
Yeah.
And I talked to my sister a couple times. I talked to Austin at Mom's one time.
Hang on a second, Austin.
On your cell phone?
No, that would have been on the home phone.
Okay.
And I don't know what time, those were just in the morning sometime. And
That might be helpful for Austin. What is that again now? What call would that have been?
it would have probably been, it was actually shortly before 10, before Mom left for church, because I talked to Mom and then I talked to Austin.
No.
Oh, but you know what? Sometime in there, I forgot all about this. I didn't put that in there. I might have left at 10 because I stopped by my mom's house because Austin forgot his toothbrush. And so I talked to Austin, walked out to the truck, and I talked to
Okay.
him. And I think at that point I gave him my cell phone
Oh,
because I think I had it in the morning.
in between the time they got dropped off at 2 in the morning
Mm-hmm.
until
Like 10:15. So I probably did leave between 10 and 10:15 because I forgot. I did swing by my mom's and give Austin his toothbrush because he forgot his toothbrush.
is that a new one or an old one? Or?
Old one, just his regular toothbrush.
Okay. And then you had the phone,
Yeah, and I gave it to him
so you
I
had the
could get a
phone and
hold of him.
toothbrush. Okay, because some of those calls I think were causing us some heartburn, but maybe that.
Oh, that's probably why, because afterwards he had it. And all of us all the time.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, does he come in, or do you have to go in and give him the toothbrush?
I honked. No, you know what? I think we're lazy. I called. I think I called him and told him to come outside. You might notice sometime in the morning me calling from the lazy to walk back there to tell her to get up.
Right.
We do that all the time. Amber and I have. And he's like, "What?" And just talked to him for a minute. Said, "Will you hand us the remote over there?"
That's kind of mean.
Isn't that? We're lazy. And there's a lot of times I call her because I don't want to clip back there.
So if there's a call, there might be a cell phone call from
My house phone.
I'm talking about the toothbrush.
Oh, the toothbrush?
Did you say you called and said you're up front?
Mhm.
So if there's a call from your cell phone.
Yeah, shortly between 10:46 to my mom's house, it would tell you that I was calling Austin to tell him to come out and get the toothbrush.
I see. And then when you get the toothbrush, you get the phone.
Yeah.
So then Austin would have had the phone
He had the phone the rest of the day.
from toothbrush exchange 10:40 or whatever. No, prior to.
Yeah, like 10:30.
Between 10:30 and 11.
Yeah, between 10:30 and 10:46 before Taco Bell.
Sometime in here, you call there with the cell phone.
Yeah, I called
From out front.
from my mom's driveway.
So you give him the toothbrush and the cell phone at that time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that way I could get. I know we're weird.
That's okay.
That's not weird.
He had a cell phone, but when he started being naughty, I took it away.
Right.
And Manny has it now. So
Okay, so then here we have sometime around 11:15 turned on the microwave.
yeah, when I saw Kurt come around, I was in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
I had changed and put the brush in the sink. I think the paintbrush is probably still laying in the
It is.
kitchen sink. Okay. Soaking, and I walked in, turned the microwave on for a minute, And that was right when I saw Kurt at the corner of Willowbrook and
Do you have the
Longford.
cell phone on with you now?
You know, I think it's out in my mom's car charging.
That's okay.
My charger's at the house. I have to do it in there.
I hear you're doing the same thing.
I know, you burn the thing and you're like, I'm right at one bar.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry. So sometime around 11:15, turn on the microwave, and
Oh, I changed. Put on my regular clothes from the paint clothes at that point.
So you wore the paint clothes all morning up to this point?
Yeah, I wore my paint clothes to the store. The lady can probably tell you I have paint all over me. And I even, it's this blonde lady, and I can't remember her name. I talk to her all the time.
okay. So that would have been the shirt with the stripes and the paint on it,
Mm-hmm.
and the pants would have been.
They're like blue, blue pants.
Okay.
Sugar.
Then you changed into what?
Black pants and this shirt because I don't have any clothes. My clothes are all at the house. So.
No,
No, when you were...
the movies. The movie
Yeah.
clothing.
I haven't been in the house to get clothes.
This is what you put on then?
Yeah, we just keep washing clothes.
Oh, okay.
And I turned on the microwave. By that time, I heard Kurt wash. Oh, I didn't have that right then on there.
Walked.
I got the food out of the microwave and stuck it in the living room. And I don't remember if there was a tray there sitting from the night before, or if I set it on the couch and Kurt got the tray. Generally, I don't know why, but that's one thing I don't like to do. It takes me off to get the tray. I bring him his food, I wait on him and but the tray takes me off, so I don't do the tray.
Does the tray get put away every time, or does it go back?
It usually does, but I can't remember what we did Saturday night. And if Kurt always has a tray. I mean, if we have TCBY, which we do a lot, Kurt uses a tray. Kurt puts a bowl. I mean, you know, Kurt, he's very particular about things. I mean,
He is, I'll give you that.
yeah, I mean, he can honestly, even though he's got like 80,000 crossword puzzles in the bedroom, you touch one and he'll know. And I mean, he has a mess in that bedroom, but he knows.
It's his mess.
That's it.
Okay, you want?
I walked in the computer room in that office
Mm-hmm.
to check on the computer because Kurt does a automatic virus check every Sunday. And so we always log off. And I don't remember.
Does that computer stay connected all the time, other than that virus check? Does it stay connected to high-speed internet all the time?
We turn it off. We turn it off at night.
Okay.
But it's on during the daytime. I always turn it on. I get up at between 5 and 5:30 and I turn it on first thing. And then I made this mistake the first night. I said I yelled at Kurt, but I didn't. I called to Kurt.
I remember that.
Yeah, that
actually.
lady said, "Did you yell or did you call?" I called. I yelled. You know.
That lady, what lady?
I thought it was that lady asked me, or was it you that asked
I
me?
think that was me.
Okay. I yelled out to him. Okay, and just told him.
From where?
From the computer room. When I heard him walk down the hall, I yelled, "Your food's in the living room. I'm going to the movie," because he knew we were going to the movie.
Did you see him arrive home?
You know, I didn't even see him at all.
How did
But-
you know he was home?
The garage door opened and shut, and somebody walked in the kitchen.
Now, is that, I don't remember. Is that an auto thing, or is that a...
Yeah,
They are noisy.
and well, I might see.
What time was it that he got home?
You know, it probably was between 11:15 and 11:20. No, it was probably closer actually. I called her at 11:30, but I seem to think it was 11:38.
You called her from where?
From the house phone to her cell phone. And I'll be over to Grandma's. She was at my mom's.
Oh, so that's a good time marker for us then.
Yeah, so if you look at that on her phone records, it should say like, I'm thinking 11:38. She thinks it's 11:30. So,
So one of the two.
yeah,
And that's a call from
from the house.
Longford to... Okay.
And that was just telling her on my way.
Okay, and so you walk in. So then you hear Kurt come home.
Mhm.
And at that time you're in the computer room.
Kurt would always go back in the bedroom, put his Bible up, put his leather coat on that chair, go to the bathroom, and get ready to go eat. I mean, he is pretty much...
And change clothes. Was there something about changing clothes?
Yeah, he usually does. And that's what's odd is he usually does. And that he was still in his dress pants, and he always changes to the jeans that they made fun of at the funeral.
The no belt.
Yes, the no belt, and he for a while he would wear one of those little clippy watches
Mm-hmm.
because a watch is irritating to interpret.
Mm-hmm.
And Curtis that's what's odd is they said the rings weren't on, and I don't know if he found his rings or not.
I think we may have. I'll have to see.
Oh, good.
I know there was,
Check. There was something about.
I was looking at a list, so we'll check into that.
But he always wears his rings. Except for, he doesn't sleep in his rings. And when he washes his hands, he takes his rings off. He's very, very particular about things like that.
Okay, so you're in the computer room, and you called to Kurt that I was leaving for the movie.
And the food was in the living room.
Okay. So you're in the computer room, and you call out to him and he's in the master bedroom.
Yeah.
So the food's not in the microwave. You put it on the tray.
No, I went and I turned it on, walked it in and did I put it down there when I went to put it on? Don't know if I did or not. No, I just turned it on, walked over, ran some water, put the thingy in the brush in the sink, and then took the plate and went in the living room. And dropped it off and then went right into the office.
Playing on the couch? Or,
I can't remember if I did the couch or if the tray was there.
did you have Coke with you?
Yes, I had. I carried that in the living room, stuck it on the floor earlier. When I poured it, I stuck it in the living room a long time ago, so it was probably real watered down, but he didn't care because he didn't have to wait on his stuff, so it was okay.
You lost me on that.
Okay.
She poured the pop quite a while ago.
Yeah, at
early,
10,
early.
like at almost 11, I didn't pour a lot. I just started it. So I don't know if it was poured completely yet or not.
Okay.
Because I just,
And that would, you would pour that in the kitchen?
as I was walking into the living room.
Okay, now that would, I think we talked about this, would that balance on the couch, the cushion?
Oh, it on the floor.
Oh.
If I didn't stick it on a tray, I'd stick it on the floor.
Okay. And then he would fend for himself to get the tray, is that what?
Mm-hmm.
You don't like ice or nothing? Just...
Yeah, there's ice in it. I put 4. Okay. 4 ice cubes.
Does he like 4?
Yeah.
Has to be 4?
What happens if there's 3?
Yeah.
He'd probably go get one, I don't know.
Does he like a paper cup or something?
He only drinks out of glass.
As opposed to,
Plastic.
because plastic.
Is there a reason?
No.
What about the can?
Oh, no, Kurt never drinks out of the can. And Kurt always drinks or eats with a plate.
Even the fast food stuff?
It just drives my mom nuts because last night when we got McDonald's, we eat with plates.
Actually, my wife does that.
We eat in the living room, but we eat with plates. We never eat at the table, hardly.
Well, I don't eat at the table, but I don't bother getting a plate out.
No,
Maybe just I don't want to clean it.
I do
It
it.
helps balance a little bit.
Yeah, and
Stability.
Maybe I'm just strange.
nobody does dishes but me, so it doesn't matter.
So it don't matter to you.
Okay, so when, best guess,
I'm thinking 11.
right, so the house call to the cell phone would be a pretty good time marker of when you're in the
Yeah,
house.
because I was dialing it as I walked out. The phone may have possibly been sitting by the back door on the counter.
You've got a lot of phones.
Yeah, we do.
Do you have one for each room, or is that...
There's 2 in the living room for the main phone line. There's a corded phone in the living room. I'm sorry, there's 2 in the kitchen, cordless. There's a corded one in the living room. Then there's a cordless one in the office, but it's not hooked up. It doesn't work. There's something wrong with it. And then it comes with that set where they all match,
Oh, yeah.
I've seen that. Yeah.
And I talk
Burgers.
on, you look at our phone bill. Not our phone bill, but our phone records. I'm on the phone all the time.
I've got probably 1, 2, 3, and there's still times when I can't find it.
Oh, yeah.
Stinking kids.
And
I hit the button and I gotta buzz it around and find it.
Well, see, we don't have the button because we only turn the ringer on 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah, because you got to run on all of them. That was
Yeah, it's irritating,
crazy.
so you can't buzz for them. And it is a pet peeve with me. You don't put that phone on the charger until it's dead, because I guess it ruins the
I
battery.
think it does.
Creates memory or
And
something.
Austin irritates me, so sometimes I'll have 2 phones off the hook because I won't let him put them on, because he'll get one, not the one I'm using. Anyway, we are weird, I know.
No.
So then I went and got, that's what I'm thinking, 11:38 was when I called. And I
When
walked.
you called when you were leaving your
Yeah.
house.
Right.
And the neighbor, I did notice the neighbor was outside. The guy, if you're looking at our house on the right-hand side, I don't know their names.
I remember you pointing to him.
I think he was doing something with the lights, his Christmas light.
That's to the east.
Looking at your house to the left or the right?
Was at my house to the right.
So if we're facing your house, it's on this side or on this side? Okay.
Their driveway's right by our driveway.
Okay.
We're sitting in there. And I can't remember.
Let's do this real quick. Any delays there, or did you spend
No,
any
she was
time?
outside smoking a cigarette.
Okay, so she popped in and off she goes. Well, we've talked to her. She goes off with.
And he had a smoking ticket. He had to go pay $200, I think.
Tell me about this shed,
Okay, the shed is,
because there's been some talk of a shed. I'm just curious if this is the same room that I'm thinking that's come up before.
it probably, his friends have been out there. As a matter of fact, I've called the cops on some of them. I mean, if you check your records, because...
Is it a shed that you put?
Are there tools in there or
No,
lawnmower?
it's a room. It's a room. Dad made it when Mom was doing daycare, and it was like a craft room. It's got heat. It's got air. There's no bathroom or anything. It's just a big room. It's got an old couch.
Same room.
So it's kind of like an apartment or something.
Yeah, it
like
could be,
almost.
yeah.
Big playhouse.
Yeah, there's just no bathroom or anything.
Okay.
I'm not giving you money because I know what you'll do with it.
What would you do with that?
And buy weed.
I thought you had stopped that.
Austin will never stop smoking weed.
Okay. Then
Although he's been really good. He's up until recently, he's been coming home early, except for that.
Early.
Well, except for that night before, and that night.
Early in the morning or
No,
early?
like at 9:30 or 10,
Okay.
and he's been really good. I don't know why. He's been really good though, and the night before though, he had went over to his friend. His friend, I'm sure you've talked with trucking or something.
Mhm.
No, I don't know what it's called.
Tank.
And so they had been over there. And normally we don't let Austin drive because we took his truck away. Well, I had the red truck that Saturday night, and I told him, as long as you go there and you come back, you can drive the truck. And then he was planning on spending the night at my mom's. And so and Tony can tell you that that's not odd because he picked me up one night speeding coming home. I was ticked because I had to take Kyle home at 3 o'clock in the morning. Picked me up.
It's awful early. You get a ticket?
No, he didn't. He was really nice.
Cool. Some patrol guys sometimes can.
He was really nice. He asked
How fast were you going?
I was going 50.
50?
you know what?
In that main road down,
35?
probably. I was ticked and it was really early in the morning.
Hey, it doesn't take much to go 15 over.
No.
But
He's probably looking for drunks or something.
yeah, I couldn't find Kurt's registration. I didn't have my driver's
You couldn't
license.
find Kurt's registration? He's so perfect places with everything.
Yeah, but I put that in there.
Oh.
See, Kurt doesn't do anything. Kurt doesn't change oil. Kurt doesn't get gas. I do that. I mean, I don't change the oil. I take it to get the oil changed, but Kurt doesn't do that. So. It started when we had the girls because I was a housewife. And I wasn't even doing daycare. I was home. I'd worked for health and welfare, and then I started that I would want to get out of the house, so I went and got gas. So for the last 21 years, I think Kurt probably, besides going on death trips, probably 3 times in Boise. And as a matter of fact, at one time, he didn't know where the gas tank was. So
Didn't know which side it was on or just didn't know where it was at?
he didn't know where
Period.
it was, yeah. And he was confused. Well, and also he didn't know how to do the thingy because the pumps are all new.
Yeah, they are.
They're
And
changed.
see, when he did it, you just pulled it up and did it. And
This?
yeah. So anyway,
Okay, a little sidetrack. Okay, talked to us in the shed,
I kept trying to call my
okay, so we've got, and this is while still at,
while we were there and when we left. Some would have been made from Mom's house while the time we were there waiting. And then,
so we got,
Maybe they do have it then.
you guys got a memory like a steel trap, pisses me off.
I can't remember nothing.
So she'd already been home, made her way from church back. Okay, so there'll be a call from. So now we've got how many people? Because I think this is where we started getting kind of confused, and I was right. I couldn't read my chicken scratch and stuff. So we've got you and your red truck.
No.
Leaving Bentley.
We were at Bentley from like 11:40, I think, till 12:20, and then.
How do you know 12:20? Just.
How long do you think you were there?
We were there quite a while.
Quite a while.
And the movie started at 1. And
12:20 is pushing for lunch and a movie.
well, we decided not to do it. We were going to do the popcorn.
Okay.
We weren't going to do the lunch. The lunch was because we couldn't get a hold of everybody. But Amber drove to the church to see if there because they had been at church. We drove by the house, by my house, go to the movie. So we drove by, the car wasn't there, so we didn't stop or anything. We just kept on going because we were late.
Hmm.
And then we went right to the church.
House looked fine?
Yeah, I didn't notice anything, but I didn't look that close.
Would that be odd
Yes.
for Kurt? Because at that time it'd be just Kurt.
Mm-hmm.
Does he?
Kurt locks the door.
Okay, I mean let's not sugarcoat it. You guys have had some problems with teenage activity,
Oh yeah.
and you've had to adjust your lifestyle such, and we need to factor that in. So don't be embarrassed that
Yeah, the
you need to
door's
tell us some of these little things.
the door's always locked. It is a pet peeve. The garage was down. I know the garage was down
Okay.
because I put it down when I drove off in the red truck. We have a garage door opener in Kurt's car. There should be there's a broken garage door opener on the microwave. There should be one of those things you hang outside that has numbers?
Mm-hmm. Keypad.
Yeah, there should be one of those somewhere in the kitchen.
That's okay.
Because that's usually my garage door opener, because I don't have one, because I don't drive that often. But I do have a garage door opener in my purse, because I'd taken Austin's truck.
Okay.
And that's Austin's garage door opener.
So what time did you?
I'm not sure. It would have been,
Before you did the drive-by?
no, after.
Okay.
Because it was actually, I know. And so we met at the church, and my pastor actually saw us there.
Just real quick, we drive by the house because we need to. This is the first valuable information we have of condition of the home and things. So front door open.
I didn't notice.
Who said it?
Open.
I see. Now your impression of that, because I'm not sure if we locked and open a little bit,
That's
wide
what I
open.
thought. No, I thought she meant just like not shut.
I see.
Not latched.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe there was any daylight in between it. I think it was
Yeah.
just more of a
Okay.
not latched.
Okay.
But normally Kurt does lock the door. Now, they'll also tell you if you call my house,
They.
and anybody, Kurt's family, anybody will tell you. You call my house, Kurt won't answer the phone. It's not going to be for him. It's going to be for me. He doesn't
Sounds
answer
like
the
my
phone.
house.
How about, doesn't he have a work number?
He has a work number there,
4991 or something like that?
4931, and he will generally. At the time I was driving by about that time, because she had got to the church and beat me, and I was driving by the house, and she said she tried the house phone to see if I picked her up or whatever, and Kurt didn't answer. And normally he will answer the work phone. He doesn't get a lot of calls on it. We use it for personal too.
Now, when you're describing the work phone, you're not describing a cell phone. You're describing
A cordless phone.
a landline, a home phone.
Right up next to the corded phone in the living room, in the corner, there's a cordless black phone.
Okay.
There is also a green cord. The green one is for,
Okay.
and those are the only two phones. They are HP. HP pays the bill. Kurt does. Kurt is very particular about keeping work stuff separate. He generally doesn't, although he does let us. We're allowed to use the phone, but we're not supposed to let people call on it because it is a work line. And so he gets really ticked, like if we call somebody and it's on their caller ID, so they call us back.
So.
And he will ask you, if you call on his work phone, he will tell you, this is a work phone, you're not allowed to call it.
What number I want?
The work phone. Because she knows Kurt wouldn't answer the home phone.
I see. And there's no answer.
Yeah, she said he didn't answer. So that would have been,
We'll be able to get a time mark on that.
yeah, you could check her cell phone, because I would think the only thing that happened after she called was I met her at the church. We got out, we left the red truck there, which my mom up at the church and left her car there. And so we assumed that somebody had picked her up to take her to the movie. So we left the red truck. My pastor was standing in the doorway talking to his children, so he saw us. Yeah. And got in the car to Edwards.
Let's stop there just 1 second. The reason everybody doesn't leave together from Bentley.
They didn't show up. We thought we were supposed to meet there. Oh. And then also,
If someone was to bring it up, well, why didn't
I could have. I didn't even think about it.
Okay. I mean, maybe it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, anybody can tell you if the truck's at the house. I mean, I have a friend in Portland. If you call her, she can tell you. I'll call her on my cell phone and jack up the radio and say, I got my own truck, because this truck is very important to me. I mean, it's just an old truck. It's got tons of miles, but it was my dad's.
It means a lot to you.
Yeah. So.
So there's. Okay. I just think that could be something that we need to make sure that we're very clear on.
Yeah.
That can't come back and bite us later. That.
It does seem easier that you guys get in one vehicle and
Yeah, it
just
does.
swing by there than shoot out and go to the movie theater.
Yeah. But I mean, look, it was. She went to Calvary Chapel Church by the mall.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been easier for her to go to Edwards, but she came clear to Central and picked my mom up, left my mom's car there.
Yeah, but didn't they go to lunch or something?
I don't know if they did or not. Oh, yeah, I think they did. They did, so they must have got out early. But Central has always been kind of a place where we park the vehicles. Because generally we're going to the mall or something like that.
Okay, so we're clear. What would be our best understanding then if someone asks us later? Hey, did you ask?
She's
Donna,
Because she's weird.
that's not a very good answer on our part.
Yeah, she
okay.
does.
She listens to this terrible music. I have control of the radio.
But you get eventually.
Yeah, then we went to Edwards.
So you just are you trying to limit the time that you have to put up with that?
And no, I just drive the truck. I don't know.
Okay.
It's just a thing.
Well, it's a stick shift. I mean, I've seen it. So
Oh, yeah,
it would be hard for 3 people to get in
Yeah.
the red truck as opposed to 3 people getting her car.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I
So
don't
after
know.
Bentley, you go up around the house and Central Assembly,
Yeah.
and that's where again? Because I didn't.
12.
And that's
Cloverdale and
Cloverdale and Fairview.
No, off that.
Yeah, yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Zip out to Edwards.
Go to Edwards.
Hoping to catch.
Hoping we could catch them. Maybe they'd bought us tickets and they were waiting out front.
Okay.
I think we were there like right before 1, but I'm not sure.
Talk to us about where you parked.
There's like a pull-through thingy.
Oh, the hot dog joint? Oh, the corn dog stand?
there's one on each side, I believe.
Yeah, and I don't know what's over there in those buildings. It's the side closest to Overland.
Yeah, there's a Primal Pup right there.
I don't know. We pulled in that little in the vehicle.
Okay.
I got out and walked in to see if they were standing in the foyer. Looked around, they weren't. We had seen when we first got, so we saw the vehicle there. So we went in to see if they were waiting out front, if they'd got us tickets. They weren't waiting, so we assumed they went in. So we were ticked. And so I went and got in the car, and we decided we were going to go eat, and we couldn't think of any place to go, and so we went to Confucius. And we sat in the smoking section. That I did pay cash. They could check their records because we got, I think, 2 number 3s and a number 5.
Okay, I think we got that.
Okay.
So that's something you told me to check.
Yeah.
So we checked that.
Yeah, and I paid cash. And probably we're lazy. we don't pay. We leave it on the table. So she might remember that too. That we did that.
Okay.
Drop me off at the church and go straight home.
Straight.
I think she went straight to our house. I'm not sure.
Okay. Was that the initial plan?
No, I don't know what she was doing.
Was you supposed to meet her somewhere
I
else?
was supposed to meet her at my mom's. I was because I had raked all the weeds and dog mess out of the middle because I was fixing that dog run,
Mm-hmm.
and I was going to finish that when I got home from the movie, and I was going to bag up all that stuff, and I decided I was too lazy, so I wasn't going to do it. I'd do it next week. So we decided to go take the truck where I thought we were supposed to meet at Grandma's, but then don't know if she called from the cell phone or from the house, and she was crying, and I couldn't understand what she was saying, so I went home. And I didn't have a cell phone to get a hold of anybody in the truck to
Right.
find out what was going on. And Ketterling's mom's car.
All right.
Our kids always leave stuff when they shouldn't have.
And see, they were really paranoid.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about where you were, and that's good. And we get a sense that, now we were at your house quite a bit, and we had search teams searching through your house, looking for evidence, trying to figure out what in the heck happened there. And as we look, and as we attend the funeral, and as we try to piece this together, Kurt was an interesting man.
Yeah.
Wasn't he?
What do you mean by that?
Well,
He's very religious, so that is the problem between him and Austin. Although Austin was going to move out Tuesday and to live with my mom. I don't know if anybody's told you that.
well, there's a lot going on about that. So what's the down and dirty skinny on that?
Because he smokes pot. Austin Kurt doesn't allow him in the house or want him to move out when he.
So he's kicking him out, telling him he couldn't live there.
No.
Because he's not conforming.
Yeah, I guess so. But that was fine with Austin. He could be at Grandma's.
How'd that make you feel? I mean, that's your son.
You know what?
We all make mistakes.
Yeah, it's.
What was it like? What was it like living with Kurt? Did you guys? We're learning that as we're trying to piece this together. Did you have like separate rooms?
I slept on the couch, and I have done that. I did go in.
It's okay.
But
You did what now?
we did sleep together, but I slept the rest of the night on the couch.
And you occasionally had sex? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay.
But I need to know when Austin comes home.
That's what help us understand if those statements come up.
Well, understand.
Are we to believe that there's
It was
no
not.
love in the home, or you just
no.
were on the couch so you could watch what's going on
That's
coming out
it.
of that front door?
And the dogs are in the living room, and they're just now getting so they don't chew. And so they can jump that gate. And so you probably found a gate. I put that around so they can't get on the furniture.
Describe the relationship between you and Kurt, the last, up until his death. Were you guys getting along?
We fought like normal people.
Were you disconnecting a little bit? Were things? You need to help us understand a day in the life of your marriage.
Sure.
Take us back to this time. We saw this picture. Newlyweds, either before you're married, I'm not sure.
That was on the way out of the church after the wedding.
Okay.
That's your wedding date?
Yeah.
Okay. So we go from this time to where things are. I've been married almost 18 years, so you're not going to tell me, probably not going to surprise me too much, and I know about married life. So
We fought. Our biggest thing, of course, is the kids. I loved Kurt. Kurt, anybody can tell you, Kurt loved me. There was a period that it was really rough, and that's when we got the separate accounts.
okay, tell us about that.
Because I had a lot of debts. I charge a lot. You'll find that I do. Because I buy things for my kids, and so that way his was separate, so I had to pay for my own charges.
Is that a weakness? Was that a fault that you have? Is it?
I guess.
Well,
We all have faults. We all have weaknesses.
here's an example. I interviewed a gal one time that it got so bad she was addicted to the home shopping network. And she got credit cards under her mom's name and then ran the credit cards and we worked the case. But I mean, as far as, is it a spoiling situation that you can't say no, or is there a little bit of compulsion that we need to worry?
No, I do it for my kids. And then there was a lot, like, I'm sure you know, we have quite a bit in attorney fees, and Mom paid for it up front. And because our attorney's $7,500. And
Ferguson is?
yeah. But that's actually good because it's a
Not
set
bad.
fee.
Yeah. But it's not going to keep going up and up and up and
Yeah,
up.
but
Every
you
phone
have to-
call, it goes up another $50.
Well, if he pleads it out, he makes money. If he goes to trial, he loses money. So
Yeah.
it's probably.
And so, and then Mom had paid off some of our debts previously. And what we do is when I had the debts, we pay our income tax. Give her the income tax. And then I paid her, up until recently when I had more daycare kids, I would pay her money each month. But I haven't had a lot of kids. So,
So in case money comes up, let's talk about joint accounts. What do you guys? Is there a joint family account that most people have?
no, Kurt has the account. He pays the bills. I pay the cell phone bill.
Okay, so Kurt has account.
Yeah,
So Kurt's account
it's
is.
at Wells Fargo.
And that's a checking or a savings account.
There's a small savings. There's a checking. There's probably quite a bit in savings. I'm sorry, checking, because part of our taxes from last year are in there. Because Kurt's car is going to fall apart, and so we were waiting. There's no sense in trading it in because it's worthless. So we were waiting till it fell apart.
Okay. So Kurt. So as far as Kurt goes, we got Wells Fargo, which is checking and savings. What else?
As far as what does he have?
Any accounts that would be linked to your name or Kurt's name?
I have my visas and stuff, and
How about through banks? So
I have a checking account at Home Federal.
That's where you got the ATM.
Actually, I didn't get it at Home Federal. I used Home Federal. That was
It was a U.S. bank.
Yeah, the one right there by down the street from Albertsons, across from Willow Tree Dental. That's
Do you have a U.S. bank account too?
No.
Or you just use your Home Federal account at the U.S.
you
bank?
can use the
Okay.
ATM for
That's
it.
$1.50, I think.
$2.
Yeah.
$2 now. Okay, so your check. So Kurt's accounts at Wells Fargo, your checkings at Home Fed. What other accounts exist?
You like savings and stuff?
Yeah, if you were to run a credit report or.
Are you talking like stock?
Not yet. Just something
okay.
where you could get money or.
That's about it.
Okay. And then I don't know if we need to go through all the visas and stuff. I mean,
No.
do you guys have
I don't.
that stuff? Okay.
We all have visas. You
They're
probably
mine.
have-
I know. I have a lot. They're mine. But then, that's the understanding. They were mine. I pay them.
Okay. And then your work outside the home is
I do daycare.
okay at Longford.
Uh-huh.
Okay, how many kids you got? There were some questions. Austin's toothbrush. What does that look like?
Blue.
All blue?
No, I think it's blue and light colored in the middle, kind of.
White, tan, yellow.
No. Austin's real weird about it. Like, you don't do anything with pink or anything weird like that. It's blue.
It's a manly toothbrush then.
Yes, it's a.
So it's all blue. Is it like the old? Is it mainly white, but it's got the blue? Insert
The outside is blue, and it might have some white or light blue where we can use it.
Okay, and then you guys haven't been back home, so that should still be over at Grandma's.
Austin's just, yes.
Is it kind of flared out and grody?
It's a used one.
Yeah, but it's not old because I just got new ones.
Sometimes I gotta force my kids. Hey,
He's- Austin and about all three of the kids have had braces, and they were really good about wearing the retainer.
Okay. Okay. As far as Kurt goes, help us understand what it's like living with him. We're hearing a lot.
I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure. As far as, are you talking like friends or?
Well, I get a sense, Donna, that things weren't all that good.
They weren't that.
Hang on.
Okay.
Although I didn't attend the funeral, I understand there was a lady who stood up and gave a speech. And I have to admit that I heard that.
Okay.
No,
I'm not saying that, but
Okay.
that's something that maybe that may have been hard to hear. And help us.
No, I don't know why. Because I know Kurt would never do anything, probably. And Kurt knows
How
I
are you so sure of that?
Because Kurt's a Christian. And Kurt would not. Kurt will not lie. And Kurt would not. And Kurt loved me. You can ask even his family. I mean, he wouldn't.
he loved you.
He wouldn't do
Did
it.
you love him as much as he loved
Yes,
you?
I do. And I mean, and there's never been an issue that, and it's really weird because a parent stayed home with the girls, and Kurt asked him not to because it didn't look right. And yet, I never thought anything of Kurt because I knew there was nothing there. I mean, you can talk to her, and I don't know why. There was a lady in the deaf ministry, and I've never been jealous because I don't need to be. I don't need to worry. And I know that.
How about, let's take the jealousy out of it. How about, I've heard comments from several people that after looking over Kurt's life, how did he have time in the day? I mean, he never stayed up late.
No.
He had routines that he followed to a T.
Yeah.
That, I'll be frankly honest with you, would have drove me absolutely crazy. Every little thing, a little place, that would have been, like I told you, he's kind of like that too. And having things perfectly the same each way, I'm not organized. And that would eat on me after so many years. It'd be like, man, can't you get your clothes out of the closet so I can put mine in there? And then his time away from home, he's gone doing his sign language, which he was exceptional at, working.
See, and I think
he takes his
made it
vacation
sound,
to do the sign
that's
language.
just 1 week a month, and I would usually take a day off during that week, and we'd sleep in the living room before we had the dogs. I mean, even then, the girls knew that was like true. I mean,
I still, I don't know.
and they make it sound like he was gone all the time. He would get off work, and the last couple of months he was off because he had to use all that time of vacation.
All that FTO time he had,
He had
but he
time.
spent that with.
He would
the
go
other
to his
side.
mother's, which when we were first married, that would have bothered me because there was a jealousy, mother-in-law thingy. But now, it never bothered me. And I understand, I have little kids here all day. Who wants to? He couldn't go in the bedroom because I napped the kid in there.
In your bedroom?
Yeah, there's probably a playpen on the floor.
Did that bother him to have?
No, it didn't.
That's his space. That's because your bedroom was kind of his space. It looked like to me.
Yeah, no, it didn't bother him because it was a kid that was in a playpen and they couldn't get out.
Not slobbering on his pillow.
Yeah. No, that was. But he would come home after work, and then I would leave. He would be home by 5:30 because I left at 5:30 when the daycare came, and went to the dry cleaners, and would be there till 6:30 and then come home. And then we had the evening. And Kurt and I are both very lazy, and yes, he would be sitting doing his crossword, and I would be sitting reading a book, watching TV, but we're there.
Did you make, not that Kurt was a bad guy, but I mean, did you make Kurt what he was as far as
I spoiled him.
you spoiled him? But some of the things that were seen at home, at your house, carried over at his workplace.
Oh no, Kurt's a perfectionist. He always has been. I mean, they can tell you before we were married, he worked.
You see the organization, though, that perfection in certain places in the house, and it's nowhere else in the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's got to be for a guy. Put myself in Kurt's shoes. If that's how I am, and then nobody else in my house is that way,
You know what's
that's
funny?
going to create some friction. It's
No,
got to.
you know what's funny? Is I'm obsessed with, like, I vacuum every day, I dust every day. You may not be able to tell, but I do. I mop every day. And Kurt was always telling me, just let it go. Well, look at how dirty his room is. Yes, everything's in piles. But look at the dust around those piles. I mean, yes, he was a perfectionist, but he did not, I mean, the kids can tell you.
He did things the same every time.
Yeah.
There was no changing that.
Usually not, no.
I mean, for 18 years he didn't pump gas, but unless he absolutely have to, either push the car or pump gas.
Yeah.
So for the most part, he did things the same.
Yeah.
He had routines.
Yeah.
Even his mom told me that he'd walk in and set his briefcase down in the same spot in the living room every single time.
Yeah.
Nobody put nothing else there because that's where Kurt's going to put his briefcase if he ever shows up.
Yeah.
So I'm sure when he comes home, he has the same.
And I think probably because he keeps all that, like, he doesn't have the briefcase in the living room to irritate us. He puts it in the bedroom. So he was totally, he was very relaxed.
Was he in his own world sometimes? Did it seem that way? I mean, he kind of comes in, puts his stuff in his places, and does his crossword puzzles, and he's just content with the way things are going as they're going. Chugging ahead.
Yeah, but he's also, if you could, recently, I don't know, it was like a month ago, he kind of, him and Austin have never been physical. They argue, and...
Yeah, I've heard those arguments get pretty
Austin
intense.
uses the F word. Yeah, they'll get face to face, but they have never raised a hand to each other, either of them. And the other day they were talking about, who could whoop who. And actually, Kurt could get Austin down. And he took him down and did this.
They were playing around doing that?
Yeah, it wasn't. And irritated Kurt because when he was little, Kurt used to do that. Irritated Austin because Kurt used to do that. Austin would probably tell you he let him take him, but he didn't. So, but
Austin's got it covered. He's got it.
He's got to be in there.
Yeah,
He's
it's a front.
Yeah, because it was really hard. I guess at one point we have had so many comments too about who was a good-looking guy with me at the funeral.
Who's saying that though? That doesn't seem.
A lot of
everybody
people
knows you. Everybody knows.
And so, a lot of people
Don't associate you together.
Yeah. I don't know if they know because there's a lot of new people at the church. But who was it? Somebody. I can't remember. But somebody just came over, to bring food or something, and said, "Who was a good-looking guy with you at the funeral?" It's like, it's my brother-in-law. Well, as a matter of fact, when we went back in the family room before the funeral, Amber is very affectionate. They are always kissing. Not a bad thing, but he is very affectionate with us. And he's very loving, and he's real giving. And he was... And one of the cousin's husbands turned to one of the other cousin's husbands. The other one said, "Man, you've been in the family longer than I have. You don't know who that is?" And...
Okay, staying on Austin and Kurt, there was some friction.
Oh yeah, Austin smokes pot. Austin smokes.
When did Austin start
When Granddad died.
going bad, if you will?
When Granddad died. Austin, his little thingy, he'll say, "Oh, I smoked pot at 11." Austin did not smoke pot at 11.
That's what he told me.
I know. He'll tell you that. He was with my dad 24/7. And Kurt said he didn't feel any jealousy or risk in his relationship with Austin with letting him be with Granddad. Granddad was his life.
Okay.
Granddad did the things Kurt doesn't do.
Hunts,
fishing, and all that. And Austin could drive that red truck at 11 years old.
Okay.
Because Granddad taught him. And that's when Austin, after Granddad died.
Okay. Did you with Austin's problems and all bullshit aside that you can't tell me because I've been there a little bit, is that if kids bring problems in the home, there's friction between the parents.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that didn't like to listen real well.
Yeah,
It's my understanding. She punched the holes in the wall.
Yeah.
Was Kurt fit to be tied?
I'm sorry.
You know, it's been so long,
And
I can't remember how he reacted.
So once he got
So
and
all
did
this
everything?
was towards me.
okay, well he worked through that.
Yeah.
And then Austin comes up, and now Austin starts causing those same problems. I can't handle anymore. I just raised 2 twin daughters who I had trouble with. Now I've got, I can't. Now that issue's now with him, and maybe it was kind of I just don't want to deal with it more. I mean, did he not step in when he should have as a father?
What kind of support did you get from him?
I probably none.
So you're a single parent. I mean, basically raising Austin
Yeah,
because he doesn't want to deal with it.
Yeah,
He's a paycheck.
but he's not.
But I'm not going to discipline him because it's just a yelling match. My patience are done. I'm on wit's end. I can't handle it anymore. So he gave up on Austin. It's not that Austin's that bad a kid. It's just that he gave up on him.
Well, it seems like he did. He loves Austin, and we just get so frustrated.
Absolutely.
There's nothing about not loving.
Right.
It's about
You love
my
someone.
patience are just completely gone, and I can't handle it
And
anymore.
see, they didn't really fight a lot. Generally,
But there
they
was-
stayed away from each other.
There you go. They avoided each other. So there was no immediate in-your-face conflict all the time
Yeah.
because they just went their own little worlds and left each other alone.
And Austin's schedule is totally opposite. Kurt goes to bed early, gets up early.
Which causes friction because Kurt wants to get to sleep and Austin wants to listen to music.
And
So that's going to cause problems. I mean, it's just
yeah, there
know
was problems. Yeah,
it's a
I'll admit
lose-lose
it.
situation
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah, I'll admit. But like Austin was looking forward to moving to Grandma's because he can wrap Grandma
Okay.
around his finger.
What's the worst thing that you've heard Austin say?
To Kurt,
Mhm.
usually it's F you.
Okay.
So he says, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
Did he call him a name afterwards or just
Waldo.
Waldo? So they called him Waldo? I think somebody else said that.
I think so. We're getting hundreds of tips on what happened. Okay. A good percentage of those
Mhm.
tell us to focus inside the house. Okay.
Okay.
They say it's not an intruder. You need to look inside that house. And Austin agreed.
Yeah.
Austin agreed. 50% of the tips will probably say it's me.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So Austin and I and Jamie, we had a pretty good discussion. And
Austin talked well.
we've got a pretty good, between 9 days at your house, between all the interviews that these guys have done, between Austin, we know you can say what you want, but life at Longford wasn't roses.
No.
Okay. And people are telling us a whole lot of stuff. We're learning a whole lot. People are a little put out here. We've got a pretty nice guy
Oh,
dead.
Yeah.
Loved his family.
But they see, we all have two faces.
Mhm.
It's the face we put on when we leave that house in the morning, and we put on another face, and we come back and we put on the other face, the face we show only our family.
Austin has pulled and Kurt have pulled no punches. People know.
But both of them have two faces. Both of them have two different sides. You have Kurt, who to the public is going to church, Christian guy, hard worker, doing the sign language. Yet at home, he's withdrawn from Austin. He's not giving that support. He's not sacrificing, maybe taking him hunting, which wouldn't be that big of a sacrifice other than he couldn't hurt an animal supposedly, but he could find a means to get somebody to help with that. He's not helping you with that anyway, but helping Austin. Now Austin and you're stuck with your daycare and the kids and then Austin and trying to keep that all squared away. And Kurt's back in his own little world playing crossword puzzles, which
Maybe you think it sounds so terrible, and it wasn't that bad, I guess.
everything has to be perfect. You have to
It didn't
pop,
have to.
has to be in a glass.
Yeah, but it's just Kurt. I don't drink out of a plastic cup either.
Okay.
What's the worst thing that you've heard Austin say? Either to his dad Let's start there. What's the worst thing that you have heard Austin say to his dad as far as harming him? Threatening to harm him, or implied threats, or what may happen in the future, or immediate, like, anything from,
I'm going to kick your
ass, come on right now, let's get it on, or your day's coming. What's the worst things? And keep in mind that we have talked to
I'm sure you have.
lots of people.
What's the worst thing that you've heard?
And we're getting things, different people telling us the same things.
I'm trying to think. Usually there's not a lot of, Austin will just say, F you.
Have you ever gotten to space and said, "Fuck you, you pussy"?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't think he's called him that. Not that I know of.
Where would Austin get that? The gay stuff. Is there anything about Kurt's sexuality that we need to know about?
No, there isn't. Kurt had a gay uncle. No, not at all.
He's not
Okay, he's not the fisher, the hunter.
He's not the burliest man on the planet.
No.
He's obviously not what Austin wants, or he's not fulfilling Austin.
Look at his hands. He takes care of his hands. He has to.
He's a scientist.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, that's gay. Austin, that's gay. Comment in the funeral about Kurt's pants. They're, I don't know, I think Levi 550s or something. And that's what he wears. They're straight-legged. But then, could you picture somebody Kurt's height and that thin in nerdy pants like Austin?
Have you ever heard Austin say that he wants to kill his dad?
No. Not that I don't think I ever have.
Did you ever hear Austin say your day's coming? You want it now? You want it later?
No. Austin assumed he would, at 18, he would move out. He knows he's...
Had no control of his own. He was going to have to move out irregardless whether he wanted to.
Oh, he would have anyway. That's not a question.
What's the worst thing people are going to say that they've heard you say about Kurt?
Oh, probably he's worth more dead than alive. How when you... He's not. Look at...
What is he worth then?
$50,000.
That's it?
Yeah. He has the basic life insurance. He just added a policy for accidental death, which wouldn't cover this.
How do you know?
Because I would assume it had to be a car accident, HP plane wreck.
Whose idea was that?
Kurt. Because he's never had life insurance on me. And we got a policy on me. It just so happens that in November, I think, HP did a thinger.
You've got those documents.
Okay. And he added...
Here's what I thought about that. You tend to beef up your insurance when your kids are still young and at home, because if something happens to you, you got to provide for those kids. Because you're going to widow someone, you're going to widow your wife, and you're going to have to leave her with the funding to support that family and not overburden you.
Oh, okay, we never thought about that.
You are soon to become empty nesters.
Mm-hmm.
You heard that phrase.
Yeah.
You're mama bear, for lack of a better term. There's nothing that a mom will defend more than her cubs.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
You guys know.
Oh, I do.
And other than he's worth more dead than alive. What else? Hang on. What is some other things that people, and you know what they are, they told us. What are things that people are telling us that you have to talk to us about?
I don't know.
It's important that you be truthful with us and honest, so we can either say it's rumors.
I would not hurt Kurt. First of all,
that's not the question, Donna. The question is, what's the worst thing
somebody could have overheard you say you wanted to do to Kurt, or that you would do to Kurt?
I don't know.
And there's an open offer. There's an open offer out there.
You knew that.
There's an open offer that you've kind of thrown out, that you've laid.
We talked to so many people
You've laid
about the offer.
these little bombs out there.
And you need to be front
I'm
out with
saying
them.
I'll pay you to.
Come on,
I did pay him to kill Kurt. Who?
talk to us about that.
I wouldn't.
What does it say?
Yes, I said it.
Lots.
No.
What did you say? Not word for word, but in general terms. So we know we're talking about the same phrases when we get the lead sheet. We go, okay, those are the ones we're talking about.
I honestly can't remember. And if you guys want to charge me because I didn't do it.
I'll tell you what. Your plan, here's what we've done. This is day 9.
Yep.
Okay.
Day and night.
And we've got what we call the war room, WAR.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big pod across the way. And we've got everybody's statement.
Okay.
We've got them lined out in timelines, and we've got things going. And you did a pretty good job.
Really good job. Couple
Really?
mistakes.
I didn't do it.
Hang on.
Are you going to charge me? Is that what you're saying?
Hang on. Listen,
Listen
I
to us.
think I
Hear
need to
us
get an
out.
attorney. Don't you?
it's up to you.
I didn't do it. And Austin didn't do it.
Can I finish my statement?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
It was perfect except for a few things. You thought you could trust Austin.
I didn't.
Hang on. You thought you could trust him when you told him in the playhouse when you came back there.
I didn't.
You told him in the playhouse, and it was such a bomb that it was like a truck hit him. And after you left, he unloaded.
Yeah.
Darn right he did. That kid is scared to death.
And how?
That kid is scared to death.
Want that?
I didn't do it. I really didn't.
And Austin, I'm afraid Austin's going to fall on a sword. Austin, I think you and Austin are so close. He's going to say, no, I did it. It's not my mom. I did it. And he knows enough about the case because you told him. You told him that you just did it, that you've got a gun and clothes to get rid of, that he's half in the hall, half in the
I
bathroom.
did. Now you guys,
Whoa, wait. What else? Shot him in the head?
No. Are you going to charge me? I honestly didn't.
We're here to talk to you about it.
I
You
didn't
need,
do it.
We are going to be able to find the bullets in the backyard where Austin shot the gun
Austin shot the gun.
at Grandma. And be able to match those with the rounds that we recovered.
Then go do it.
Okay. Let me listen to you very literally. I did not do it.
I did not do it. I really did not do it.
Are you saying then that you had it done?
No, I have 50.
Kurt is so perfect in the way he
Yeah.
listen to me. When he comes home, his routine is this. Just as you told us, put the brown coat in there, wash his hands, change clothes, and eat.
Mm-hmm.
He died before he ever got to the dinner table, before he ever got to that tray.
The things that drove you crazy?
It didn't.
Okay, the thing.
You know what? I think I need to get an attorney because you guys are trying to put words in my mouth. Okay?
It's up to you.
Okay. Am I free to go and call one?
You are free to leave.
Okay. I really didn't. I promise you I didn't. And I don't know what you're even saying about Austin shooting a gun in the backyard.
This is your chance.
Okay.
We have forever.
And I hope you do.
We checked everybody,
What?
every single person. killer was in the house.
It wasn't me.
I guess we'll be at trial and Austin's going to have to testify against you.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Do you have the basement?
Are you
The balance down there, we do.
arrested?
With that?
Are you arrested?
No, there you go.
Let me find out about that. Why don't you just hang tight for you?
Okay.
Donna Thorngren was charged with the first-degree murder of her husband Curtis, while their son Austin Thorngren was charged as an accessory. Austin's charges were dropped in exchange for him testifying against his mother. Donna Thorngren was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison.